And welcome back into the Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 FM or online at WEGLFM.com. You can also listen to us on the TuneIn app, on SoundCloud at WEGL 91.1 FM or on iTunes at WEGL 91.1 FM. Don't die over there.
I'm sorry. I had a little jalapeno stuck in the back of my throat.
I don't even know where to go from there.
Seamless transition.
So let's keep talking about the Super Bowl. If you want to call in and talk about the Super Bowl or anything about Auburn basketball, anything about sports in general, come on, throw us a bone, guys. You can call in at 334-844-9345. That's 334-844-9345. You have 45 minutes to call in and talk about sports. So let's talk about Malcom Butler, okay? Probably one of the weirder storylines coming out of the Super Bowl, especially after it's all said and done. We're listening to this beautiful rendition of the national anthem by Pink. Kudos to her. Great job. Camera pans to Malcom Butler.
It was the under, too, by the way, for the national anthem. I don't remember what the over-under was, but she went under.
Thank you. And we pan over to Malcom Butler. And he's very emotional. You see the tears in his eyes. And then you finally, and then it started clicking like something's not right. Something's just not right with Malcom Butler. And then we find out that he doesn't play at all. At all. Like, Brooks, how does somebody who went from playing 98% of the snaps go to one play on special teams?
I had my mic turned off. It's a mystery to me.
It's a mystery.
And it's even more big of a mystery when you find out after the game that the DB's coach didn't know until an hour before the kick that he was not going to start.
You know, hopefully our next caller has a take on Malcom Butler.
Yeah, Chris from Auburn is on with us. Hey, Chris.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hey.
Great. How are you?
I'm all right. Guys, what did you think of the officiating?
I think they let him play.
Let me quote. Let me do a little quote here for a Hannah Montana song. Is nobody's perfect. I think they did.
Wait, out of all the quotes you could pull out, is Hannah Montana?
That's the first thing that I thought of. But let me get to my point. I think they did a good job letting them play. In the first, people were like, that's pass interference. And they let the teams play with pass interference. They missed a call. Like I said, they missed the review on the Corey Clement not a touchdown catch.
There was the Corey Clement dilemma.
I can't think of a touchdown where it wasn't questionable for the Eagles. Every single touchdown they scored, I thought the officials messed up.
You thought they messed up?
You got the Corey Clement one with his foot out of bounds.
Nick Foles did catch a touchdown. That was pretty, definite. On
an illegal formation. They went back and they said that was an illegal formation. They had too many guys at the line of scrimmage.
Hey, nobody's perfect.
I can't believe it, guys. The Patriots should have won that football game. You can't tell me that Tom Brady,
the Patriots
for 500 and something yards, is not the best quarterback. He deserved another ring.
I don't care if Tom Brady threw for 1,000 yards and helped give birth to the next prophet Jesus. He doesn't deserve to win a Super Bowl. No. He doesn't deserve to win a Super Bowl if his defense can't keep up. You don't give up 41 points and expect to win a football game. You just don't. If you want to win a football game, outscore the other team. Plain and simple.
Okay, but guys, here's the bigger question, okay?
I feel like it's not a bigger question, but sure.
Here's the bigger question.
Okay. All
right.
What does Philly do next season? Because they have Foles and Carson Wentz under contract.
You trade Foles, and you keep doing the same thing you're doing.
Yeah,
The man just brought you a Super Bowl.
And?
Nick Foles.
He brought you a Super Bowl. You hadn't done that before.
And he can also bring you a couple of draft picks and a couple of players back over to Philly.
Nick Foles.
Oh, my gosh, guys.
Nick Foles is a decent backup quarterback. He's not going to be your franchise quarterback. Carson Wentz has proven he was having an MVP caliber year going into the knee injury, and if he can repeat this performance next year, they will be just fine.
All right, guys. Well, hey, I love the show. I'd love to hear you more often than just once a week, but I'll call back next week.
Thanks, Chris.
You need to do a better job of screening these callers.
Listen, none of them have said anything inappropriate on here yet.
You're right. They haven't.
And we've got the dump button just in case.
All right, back to Malcom Butler.
Are you shook?
A little bit, about 6 times today. Going back to Malcom Butler, it's perplexing, isn't it? 98% of the snaps, over 3,000 plays, and he plays one.
I think it was
and then did you see the report about why he didn't play?
It was curfew, wasn't it?
So it was a mixture of 3 things. He was sick. That's why he didn't show up the first day to practice for the Super Bowl, because he was sick. He was in the hospital. It was a mixture of that. It was a mixture of he had a rough practice, so he didn't play all that well in practice. And on top of that, team violation, which, i.e., is the curfew.
Yeah.
So it was a mixture of those 3 things.
So you see, I respect 2 things. I respect Bill Belichick for not, shying away just because it's the Super Bowl, not shying away from his established rules that he's put down. Like, whoever you are, if you violate them, you will not play. I respect that. But on the other side of that, this is the biggest game of the year with a subpar defense that has not performed well all year long. And Malcom Butler is probably one of your, if not the key player on the defense. And you let your DB's coach know an hour before kick that he's not playing. An hour. The Patriots are great. The Patriots have a great system. You can't adjust in an hour and say, okay, so Butler is not going to play, so Joe Schmo, another DB, you're our signal caller now. You don't practice that as much. You don't practice as much in the NFL with your reserve guys or your secondary guys as you do your top tier guys because of the limited practice time. College, you can go out there and run a first string, second string, and you can have equal reps and get them to know all the calls and everything and run it seamlessly because you got so much more time than NFL. It just doesn't work. And I think Bill Belichick is seeing the effects now that his defense was unable to communicate and they were unable to stop the Eagles except for once on that game. They stopped them twice. Didn't they punt? Eagles punted. Or did the Patriots punt? Who was the punt? There was only one punt in the game.
I'm surprised there was a punt at all, to be quite honest. I think it was the Eagles.
They stopped them with the punt, and then the only other stop the Patriots had was a fluke interception. You cannot have a subpar defense out there and lose one of your top defensive guys an hour before kick and expect everyone to just adjust like that.
I'm looking.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, the Eagles were the one team that punted.
Okay, good.
41-yard punt.
So they got one defensive stop and one fluke defensive stop with the interception.
Yeah.
You cannot have a subpar defense out there that is already that struggled all year and then lose one of your key guys. And expect to win.
I think this kind of goes back to, it was funny. I was listening to our World Series Game 7 recap, and we were talking about how I was talking how Darvish shouldn't have started. And this kind of reminds me of the same situation. It is Game 7.
It's do or die.
This is do or die. This is a Super Bowl. It's do or die. Okay? I don't care if Malcom Butler missed curfew. I get that you want to keep Bill Belichick's been there for years. He has his ways. Well, whether we agree with him or not, sure. But this is the big game. I'm not saying Malcom Butler being out there was going to win you the Super Bowl. Because, Gilmore's your number one. He's played great. He's played lights out. Okay? Butler has been usually the guy ever since the Super Bowl. And then this year, he's kind of had a hard time. But he's still your number 2. He's solid.
Butler's the guy that you usually put on your number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah.
So, is Nelson Aguilar? You would say Nelson Aguilar would be their number 1 wide receiver.
I would say
right?
Alshon Jeffrey's number 1 wide receiver. And as you saw in the first half, he was. And then you'll notice that they switched Stephon Gilmore over to Alshon Jeffrey, and it got tougher to throw to him.
And I'm not going to say it would have mattered, but if you had Butler on Alshon Jeffrey the whole game, it may have turned out different.
I also want to point out that Malcom Butler is a very good run stopper. And what did the Patriots have a hard time doing?
They couldn't get a pass rush.
They couldn't get a pass rush, and a lot of rushes that could have been stopped for 4 or 5 yard gains that ended up breaking out into 15 to 20. Malcom Butler would have stopped.
They did a good job stopping Jay Ajayi. When he got in, it was fine. The big runs came from LeGarrette Blount, which I was shocked. I'm like, I can't believe LeGarrette Blount can run that far.
I mean, you should know. He played for the Patriots.
Yeah, but we put him in, and it was like a 2 or 3 yard gain, and it was never like the big gashing runs like you saw him last night.
So
the other night.
Before we head to our commercial break, do we want to talk about Super Bowl odds?
I thought that was going to be our game.
It is our game.
So you want to play a game in 2 minutes?
I mean, why not?
Well,
we can go about the 30-minute mark. It's okay.
Right. Hit the game show music.
Oh, and now we're going to play. If I can find. There we go. Whoops.
Good job.
Hey, I got this.
It's time for this week's Extra Point Game of the Week. This week we're going to be talking about the way too early Super Bowl odds for next year, the 2019 Super Bowl. So I'm going to give you some of these teams' odds, and you're going to tell me, or I'm going to give you the odds, and you're going to tell me which team it is.
All right.
I'm going to start you off with a real easy one.
Okay.
This team is a 100 to 1, or a 100 to 1 odds to win the Super Bowl next year.
Is this the lowest?
There are 5 teams with this odds.
5 teams.
5 teams. If you give me one, you get the win.
Browns.
Correct. The other 4 are the Bills, Bengals, Bears, and Jets. All have 100 to 1 odds.
The Bills?
The Bills are 100 to 1.
They were a playoff team.
They were. But
what
barely.
All right.
They had to depend on a few things to happen. Let's go about the middle of the pack. Let's go to, there are 3 teams sitting at 20 to 1 odds.
20 to 1.
Yep. Two of which were playoff teams this year. One was not.
Jaguars.
You're right. The other 2 are the Falcons, the Cowboys, are 20 to 1 odds.
I'm doing good. I'm 2 for 2.
Good job. Let's go back a little bit up the ways. 50 to 1 odds. There are 4 teams with 50 to 1 odds.
Can I get a hint about these general 4 teams?
Only one of them was a playoff team.
Seahawks.
Nope. Would you like one more guess?
Yes. Can I get another hint?
2 of them have the same kind of mascot. It's an avian variety.
All right, so it flies. Ravens.
Correct. Ravens is one of them. The Cardinals, Titans, and Lions are the others.
Oh, the Titans was a gimme.
Let's go down the list to some of the better odds. There are 2 teams with an 18 to 1 odds. No, 3 teams with 18 to 1. 3 teams with an 18 to 1 chance to win the Super Bowl next year. These are pretty good odds. Not great, but they're pretty good.
Can I get a hint?
Only one of these teams made the playoffs. 2 of them have new quarterbacks.
Redskins.
No.
Oh, they have a new quarterback.
They do, but that's not it. Would you like take one more guess, or you just want me to say it?
I'm trying to think of the new quarterback one. Like I don't.
You want the divisions for these teams?
Yes.
NFC West, AFC South, NFC South.
AFC South, Houston.
Yep. It is the 49ers, the Texans, and the Saints. All 3 have 18 to 1 odds.
I thought about the Saints. I really did think about the Saints.
That's amazing that a year after they get Garoppolo, they're in 18 to 1 odds to get to the Super Bowl.
All right, let's do one more.
Who's the favorite to win the Super Bowl?
Patriots.
Do you know what their odds are?
Isn't it like 4 to 1?
3 to 1.
3 to 1?
3 to 1 to win the Super Bowl next year. And the second is the Packers at 8 to 1.
Aren't the Eagles like 3rd or 4th?
The Eagles are also 8 to 1, so they're tied with the Packers.
Okay.
Packers have a little bit better though.
Hey, I did a good job, I feel like.
I'm impressed. I had to give you a few hints though. Hold on, before we go to break, do you want to know the Colts?
Yeah, or can I guess the Colts?
Sure. You want to guess the Colts?
Yeah. Are they like 40 to 1 odds?
They are exactly 40 to 1 odds. Good for you.
I am amazing at what I do. Somebody hire me. I'm good at this. Vegas. I'm calling out.
I mean,
dial Vegas right now.
Well, maybe they'll call in. Maybe Vegas will call in.
When we come back from break, we'll talk.
That's how you know it's meant to be.
When we come back from break, we'll talk about the AP Top 25. Auburn, number 8 in the AP poll. We'll talk Auburn basketball or anything about sports. Call in at 334-844-9345. That's 334-844-9345. You're listening to The Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 FM or online at WEGLFM.com.